Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to take a video after I woke up here. Just woke up right now. And put on my camera. This is where I was sleeping for the last night because I couldn't find a hotel in the area. I just got here and a little late, and yeah, there weren't any hotels, so I decided to sleep out for the night and book for the next day. But I want to make this video about something I was thinking while I was just lying there on the bench looking up at the tree in the middle of the night. And I just realized, man, like, wow, it's kind of perfect right now. Everything is just kind of perfect. Sleeping under the shade of a tree, mountains and the clouds at the distance. You can't see here, but the ocean behind me. Nice, quiet, small neighborhood, clean, serene, peaceful. It's all in Japanese. It made me think, I don't think there's any other country I've ever been to in all my travels that's like Japan. This is like a dream come true. Like when you think of a dream come true, your wish, like you think, oh, I want to be in the Alps in Switzerland eating chocolate and yodeling. Or I want to ride horses out in the back of Mongolia. You can have those dreams if you want. Sure. But something I dreamed about is just enjoying a nice, serene moments in Japan alone. Like those lo-fi videos where they're, just chilling in the, what's his name? Noobs, N-U-B-E-S. Noobs is playing, and they're just enjoying. Or maybe Radwimps is playing, and they're just enjoying the nature of the moment in the nice little Miyazaki town. A Miyazaki moment. I'm pretty sure even if you don't know about Japan or their culture, you definitely know what Miyazaki films are. And right now I just had a Miyazaki moment while I was in Japan, and I was like, wow, this country's perfect. I'm using the term perfect here loosely. Perfect, what do you mean perfect? It has tons of problems, is what some very informed people would love to tell me in the comments. But no, I'm kind of talking about the country that if you could live in, what would be a dream come true kind of country, And I felt like no country can do what I'm seeing right now with my own eyes in Japan. China doesn't have this kind of culture and tradition. It doesn't have this kind, it could have the scenery maybe, but not the kind of culture and tradition that comes with it. People when they say they want to pick their favorite country to go and just retire and relax in, they say, oh, I want to go to Hawaii, I want to go to Jamaica or the Caribbean. Where are you going to find something like this with cicadas and the mountains in the back and everything else? Where are you going to find that in Hawaii or Jamaica? And even if you did go there, you think that that's your culture, that you're just going to go there and magically turn into a native living there? What makes it magical for me is I speak Japanese. This is exactly for me. This is exactly what I wanted. A country where I can use the language perfectly. And it's exactly like what I've seen in the movies. That is like the new dream, the Japan dream. And guess what? I just had the Japan dream moment. It made me a little bittersweet because I don't live here, But I can see why I would. If I could, I would. People always talk about the negatives of living here. It's too hard, there's too many rules, you don't have any friends. Okay, but look at the positives. Think about the positives. You never ever have to worry about violence, you know, or theft or robbery or environmental destruction or damage or pollution or anything terrible like that. I was just sleeping outside all night with my stuff right next to me. I didn't have to worry about some police officer, you know, detaining me for no reason for just sleeping on a bench, or some weird crackhead trying to attack me at night, or crazy animals trying to bite me at night or whatever. I didn't have to worry about all of that. I put on some insect repellent and boom, not a single bite. I was completely fine. I wouldn't do that every night, you know. I was a little bit on edge, but that was better than what happens if I did that in any other country. And that's Japan. That's the thing I can do. You know, if you're Japanese, you should be proud, bro. You have a strong tradition, strong culture. You don't have to worry about healthcare because your taxes cover it to an extent. You don't have to worry about job security. Yeah, your economy is kind of slow right now, but it's better than being in an inflated shithole like those fancy pants countries that people keep wanting to go to, that are fully inflated. And let me ask you this, like, compare the problems of other countries like poverty and crime and corruption to Japan. Japan, they'll just say, oh, the tourists don't follow the rules. Okay, so what? You have people who got an attitude. You think that people with an attitude problem is nearly as bad as all the other things that I could mention? Okay, you see this, and you're telling me that this isn't a good country? Oh, I don't like this, bro. Let me go back to North Korea. Go, please. And to think people kill themselves in this country. The suicide rate still remains high. How? Genuinely, I don't understand how. You're born in this country where you have stuff like this. The country that is literally picture perfect. And you say, no, I'd rather just kill myself. As if your life as a Japanese wasn't good enough. I don't understand. I really don't understand how this isn't good enough for you. This, in my opinion, is as good as life is gonna get. This is the country where life is as good as it's gonna get. It's not gonna get better than this. You can have whatever you want here. And that's what makes this country so freaking amazing. Look at this. And you guys want to go and live somewhere else. Where are you going to go live? Where are you going to go live that's so wonderful and better than this? Hawaii? Hawaiian locals barely can afford to live in their own country. They have to use land control and rent control just to be able to survive. A lot of them are moving out because they just can't afford it. And they only have one kind of, you know, they have a bunch of fires and volcanoes and stuff. Wow, holy cow, man. It's nuts. Or maybe they'll go live in Jamaica or the Caribbean. Well, unless you're some rich white guy with a yacht, living there is not so much fun either if you're the local either. If you just move there, you think you can afford it? Again, what kind of culture do they have? What kind of culture can compete with Japanese culture that's so old and rich and well preserved and well maintained? Most countries, they threw away their culture in the name of modernity, in the name of diversity, in the name of, you know, Western values and all this other garbage. That they don't try to look at the merit of their own culture. Japan never did this. Japan never tried to throw away anything. There's still Japan. Wow. Other countries, they always complain, oh, it's too difficult. We don't have to do our best. But Japan is about doing your best. And if this sounds like glaze, well, I mean, it is. But what do you want me to say? That Japan sucks? It's not true. This country's fucking amazing. Yeah, man. But you gotta come out here to see it, man. I mean, even in the cities, it was nice when I was in the city, right? But like here, it's like a Miyazaki film, bro. This is fucking beautiful. When I was in the islands of Japan, like Kagonoshima, Okinoshima, all those small islands, same thing. I was like, wow, this is what a perfect country is like. I don't think that there's any country where I'm gonna find stuff like this. Whether it's the scenery. I mean, you can get this kind of scenery in America, but you're not gonna get the authenticity of it. You're not gonna get the safety of it, the serenity of it. You can kind of get this culture in China or Korea or whatever, but you're not gonna get the benefit, the whole beauty of it, you know. China, they got rid of their culture. Korea, they have, but it's like, it's not, they lost the meaning of it. They just follow it because it's the tradition. Japan, they know the meaning of the culture. They know the meaning of obeying the rules and following traditions. And that's what makes this country so fucking good. Damn. Love this country, bro. Wow. Absolutely love this country. Probably more than any other. Just this kind of tranquility. Like I said, haven't been to any other country that has this kind of tranquility. Amazing. So yeah, so far I've been just arrived here. I think I think I made that one video in Japanese the other day. No one saw it, duh, because none of my viewers are Japanese. There's no point. Nobody's been watching any of my videos anyways. Sometimes I wonder, like, why do I bother recording? I mean, that's kind of the motivation, is to get somebody to, at least in theory, is to have somebody have the feel of following along with me on these travels. Because if I'm just going for myself, why would I go to such extremes to go by myself? To go to all these places for what? For myself? That's a little bit excessive. But if I'm doing it for someone else, maybe an audience or a friend or whatever, then it adds meaning. Then it has a purpose, right? So the theory is, I'm gonna take all these videos and go to all these places and meet people or have people watch me, so that it has a purpose to it, hopefully. Alright. Another thing, a little bit off topic now, is I've been thinking about this, like these over expensive hotels, right? With prices like $300, like $1,000 a night, $3,000 a night, $5,000 a night, like $5,000 a night for a hotel. At that point, might as well just buy the land. Like, honestly, what are you even staying there for? Who stays in those super overly expensive hotels? And they're so big too. How do they keep maintenance costs? Like, genuinely speaking, I'm actually curious. Like, who goes to these hotels to be able to keep them afloat, to keep them in the profit? Like, budget motels and hostels are for the regular person, but there are way more overpriced, expensive, like luxury hotels instead. Who goes to these though? How are there so many? Is it like companies that run this stuff and they just charge people these insane prices because they're not company employees or whatever? I don't get it, really. I don't know that much about the hotel real estate industry. I don't really know about the hotel industry that much. So I really don't know how they manage to keep the cost of staying so high and justify the profits for it. How do you even make a profit? Do you just make the price so high per stay that one person staying in that hotel? I mean, first of all, how do you even get people to come to a hotel that expensive, right? If it's for like a business trip or if it's just to like visit somebody, I'm not going to stay at the most expensive hotel unless I'm rich. And if I'm that rich, that freaking rich, I would just buy land. It doesn't make sense. I don't know, man. It's just weird to me because there's so many of them, right? It would make sense if this luxurious, very expensive, very exclusive hotel was, kind of, what's the word? Kind of rare, kind of not in every city kind of thing, right? But that's not true. They build these luxury hotels in literally every single town. That's like the first thing they build is a luxury resort. And I'm like, well, how do you even get the money to do that in the first place? You can't even build like affordable housing, but you can build a luxury resort. Okay, all right, that's funny. And these luxury resort hotels will usually have like 1,000, 2,000 rooms, like 2 adult rooms, like 2,000. But we can't build affordable housing because that's way too unrealistic and expensive. Nah, let's build the Ritz-Carlton. That's way cheaper. That'll get a lot of people. We can send all the homeless living there. They can afford it. Are you nuts? The hell? I mean, seriously, how do they find people to go to those places? Because those places are huge and they have so much vacancy. How do they justify the cost of maintaining it? Like, there's so many of them too. How do you justify the cost of maintaining them? Again, I don't understand. When you have so many of these big hotels, I don't think anyone can afford them, dog. It's still on. Okay, good. Because last time it died while I was recording. So I'm just going to keep going until it dies. Once it dies, the video's over. That's it. I'm not going to end it with an outro if it dies on its own. Anyways, yeah. I don't know, man. I just find that weird. Because, like, Beppu's a tourist city, right? So they kind of hike up the price on everything. That's the kind of thing about most Japanese cities, is that they're tourist cities. At least the ones that are worth visiting and have some infrastructure in them. They're going to be for tourists, and of course, they're going to double or triple the rates because, oh, you're a tourist. You have money. Pay up. And it's a holiday too. I didn't even know. I don't know why the hell there's so many holidays in August. There's Earth Day. I don't even know what the heck Earth Day even is. It's just like a day to go camping or exploring or whatever. I use Earth Day as an excuse to fucking reserve booking on every single hotel that I'm trying to find. And then there was also immediately, like yesterday, there's like this Ancestors Day where they go home to their hometown and they go visit their ancestors' graves or whatever, and they use that as an excuse to triple the price of every single hotel. I'm like, what the hell? A $9 hostel now costs like $40 per night just because there was these random ass holidays. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. I'm not Japanese, so I don't know. It's still really, really expensive. Like lately, in general, Japan has been really, really, really expensive. Like when I was in Japan in 2024, $3,000, $4,000, maybe like $5,000 would last you 2 months. Now, I feel like $5,000 would last you like maybe 2 weeks in Japan. And I'm living a little bit on the modest side, right? Yeah, I'm going around making some purchases here and there, $100, $200 purchases in department stores, but now I'm kind of dialing it back. But still, just the cost of apartments and the cost of traveling and accommodation and services, it's expensive now. What the fuck? It wasn't that expensive before. Like now I could see myself spending like maybe $100 a day. $100 a day? That's just nuts, man. For Japan, that's kind of crazy, but I mean, it makes sense, right? Foreigners, they are causing insane inflation, like nationwide level inflation in Japan, which sucks. And I heard that they're doing this crap in Thailand too, bro. Oh, it's these stupid influencers, bro. Y'all just had to freaking... I don't like gatekeeping, actually, but to be honest, this would be a good excuse to gatekeep. Like, y'all just had to remove the gates, bro, and tell every single rich-ass white traveler, hey, you want to know a country you can go backpacking in, and blah, blah, blah. And then they all came in droves, and now they all drove up the price. I know it's not white people. I know who it really is that was causing this inflation crap, but still, it doesn't annoy me any the less, man, because it's like, I want travel to become more common, but dude, traveling is expensive, man. Unless you're going to like a neighboring country, it's just too expensive, bro. And there are not many good neighboring countries in America. We've got California, but with less English in the south, and Seattle, but way more overpopulated in the north. And if you want to do anything else in America, you're gonna have to take a plane, and every single plane ticket's gonna run you like $600 for a one-way, or $1,000 for a round trip. And you have to get your papers and everything. It's really annoying, man. If I was born somewhere in Asia, anywhere in Asia, I would have such an easy time traveling. Oh my god, I don't know why the hell on the west side it's so boring to travel. I can't really think of any good countries left. France and Italy are scam centers. Okay, most of Europe is a scam center at this point, right? You got these fucking people, they're obviously not European, and they just obviously take advantage of tourists and just steal their shit and beat them up. I mean, they do the same shit to the locals too, and they get away with it because, well, the government in Europe is stupid. I hate to say it, but it's true. As much as I hate Trump, and as much as I hate how strict and unfair he's using ICE for his own personal benefit, he has a point, though, that if you have these people in your country who are not American, who don't care about America, just want to like use it for their own personal gain at the expense of other Americans or people who are living here legally, then you got to kick them out. But that doesn't mean that what he's doing is good. Like, he recently got the Supreme Court to ban homelessness, basically, by banning sleeping, camping, tent pitching, staying in one place, etc. Basically, if you don't have an address and you're on the streets, you're either going to go in a shelter or you're going to jail. And that sucks, basically. That basically means that public land is not public. It's not free. If you can't live on public land, then it's not public, it's not free. I don't know, that's just my opinion on it. Because there's lots of people who would count as homeless, who live in their cars, who live in their RVs, and they're not harming a single person. But no, we gotta throw them in jail too, because even though they're staying somewhere off the streets and not in tents and crap, they're still a problem. We have to get rid of them. Well, I think that's just kind of dumb, but you know, I don't know, man. It's not my president, you know. Not my country right now. Not until I get back, at least. So not my problem. I want to go up this mountain, but like, As far as I'm concerned, it's at least 3 kilometers, and I want to go take a shower at an onsen right now. I'm gonna go to onsen later because this is Beppu. Beppu's like the place to take a dip in the onsen, the hot spring. Very nice location. It's a tourist town though. It's gonna be a little pricey. There's a lot of them here. I'm gonna go specifically to Hell's Bells, which is like the most popular area to take a dip. I was gonna sleep here actually. I was gonna pitch a little chair and lay down and sleep here, but no. I went and slept at the park instead because it was like at least closer to a bathroom and stuff. If I had to go pee-pee, where am I gonna go? In the ocean or something? That's not really practical. Yeah, man, this holiday, whatever the heck it's called, Ancestors Day or whatever, really screwed with my travel plans. Every single hotel, the cheapest one to the modest priced one, anything below like $150 was already booked. Well, people will be like, why didn't you book in advance? Well, because I don't know where I was going. I didn't even know where I'm supposed to go. There's like Oita Prefecture, and then there's Beppu Prefecture, and then there's like even between that, there's like the Beppu center city with the city, like near the Beppu station, and then there's like Hell's Gate, which is like the touristy area. I don't know if that's the direction where that smoke cloud is at. I don't think that's Hell's Gate. I call it Hell's Bells because it's just so hard. It goes so hard. Imagine you had a place in your town called Hell's Bells, bruh. That would go so freaking hard, unironically. Yeah, so it's like 8. I'm probably gonna take a ride over there, take a bath, and then take a bus back, and then probably get something to eat, like lunch or something, and then check into my hotel because I already booked a hotel for until 17 Sunday, right? Monday, Tuesday until Tuesday, and then I'm gonna go back to Fukuoka. Yeah. I'm only here for like a month, man. I'm not really in Japan for like a long ride like last time, bro. Lukewarm opinion. Because look at this, man. Like, yeah, man, I don't mind staying here. I speak Japanese. I know about this culture. I love it. Why would I live in any other country? Chinese people telling me go live in China. What the fuck am I gonna do in China, bro? Work in a freaking factory or something? Your wages are terrible, right? And while I do like some parts of China, and the prices in China is cheaper, there's so many downsides, right? A lot of things I can't buy in China. A lot of things I can't do in China. A lot of places I can't go in China. To be worse, the discrimination in China is even worse than in Japan. In Japan, I don't feel like there's discrimination anymore. Sabetsu. I don't think there's any more sabetsu in Japan. Even in the rural cities, I don't have places where they're like, no foreigners, get out. China, they still do this. They still have places where it's like, nope, no foreigners, I'm not talking to you, you're a foreigner. Nah, I don't want to deal with you. You have to speak Chinese. Or even if you use a translator, like, nah, I don't want to deal with you. You pay foreigner price, and it's like 3 times the original price. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, Japan, actually, they do that too. They are kind of have a foreigner tax. But it's necessary because, like, have you seen how many foreigners are in Japan? But look at China. Where are the foreigners? Fuck you mean I have to pay a foreigner tax for what? I mean, it's China. There's nobody in China. You guys have less foreigners than North Korea. Like, what foreigner tax are you talking about? It makes no sense. At all. You know? I don't know. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand it. I can't speak Chinese. That's the biggest issue. Is I can't speak Chinese. How am I going to live in a country with no fucking English? At least in Japan, some people try to speak English. Even when I was in Fukuoka, every person I spoke to, I only spoke in Japanese. I didn't speak English. But every single person was speaking English at me. Mind you, Fukuoka isn't like Tokyo or Osaka. It doesn't have a bunch of foreigners there, actually. It's kind of like on the low side for like tourism. right? Maybe there's a lot of Koreans and maybe some Chinese there, but for the most part, it's mostly Asians. So they're speaking English when I'm speaking Japanese. I know why, of course. It's because they want to speak English. If they can, they try to use English. In China, they're like, sorry, do you speak Chinese? 为什么？不激动了，我操嘛！ no, sorry, no English, sorry. Bro, that's like every single conversation in China. It's so fucking frustrating. In Japan, at least somebody tries, at least they try, man. They're not good at it, but at least you try. That's what I love about Japan, is that they can try and speak the language, You don't gotta be good at it, you just gotta try. Well, fuck. And they have everything in English, too. Not everything, right? Obviously, right now, there's zero English around me. I can read it. Shin apato sanki, actually, I don't know that second kanji. San kibai open. Kijima Kogen. Yeah. Like new apartments. 3 buildings open, I believe. I'm not really sure actually what that counter for is. Bike. I think it means bike, but I'm not really sure. But I mean, in general, if there's something like signs or instructions, they'll write it in both English and Japanese. In China, everything Chinese. They know they don't get foreigners. They don't give a shit. Why would they? Why do they have to give a shit? It's China. They don't need foreigners. I mean, good for them. I'm glad they're not relying on tourism and crap to keep their country afloat. But still, you give me a reason to go to China again. Really, give me a reason. A good one. What's a good reason to go there again? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really have one. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, there are things about China I like, and there are things about Japan I like. And there are things about Thailand that I love. Like, Thailand I love, but I can't at this point really compare it with Japan. It's not as clean and developed as Japan is. It's clean, but it's not as, you don't got these nice looking roads, If you've seen the roads in Bangkok, ain't as well paved, You ain't got the whole, go with the flow kind of method of China, right? It's kind of friction, a little bit of friction here and there in Thailand. It don't make sense. They got a mix of old and new. But it's an amazing country because of the people, because of the culture, So, I mean, I love Thailand, but living in Thailand it's easy when you figure it out. Is like what I'd like to say, but that's because you're a foreigner. They have like the opposite of discrimination in Thailand. They want foreigners. Please, foreigners, come to Thailand. They have everything set up for foreigners. They have everything made for foreigners. So all the foreigner has to do is just show up, and the Thai will take care of the rest. Same thing with Philippines and most of the Southeast Asian countries. China, no. Japan, now, yeah, kind of. I feel like Japan, you don't need to be a master of Japanese culture and the Bushido ways to figure out how to come to Japan anymore. I think they roughly figured it out. If you don't speak Japanese, I will admit it's a bit rough, man. But just if you have a good translator with you, I think you'll be okay. Right? I mean, I speak Japanese and I get around pretty easy. And I understand it and I love it. I absolutely love it that this is the country where, wow, they do what I want. It goes the way that I expect, I don't have to question things here. I'm not confused. I'm not left out of... I'm not like, what the hell's going on? No, I know what's going on here. I don't have to worry about it. Again, there are things about Japan that I kind of am a little iffy on, like, maybe transportation, like bikes. Not as common here. Cars. kind of hard to get one. You know, a little bit expensive too, right? Your money, getting money out of banks and stuff is kind of painful. I hate having to do it, but you know, this is a cash-only society. You know, and they don't got everything that you would want. Maybe someday you're craving tacos. Sorry, no tacos here. Okay. Or they close a little early, and now you have to walk 20 miles, and Google Maps is incorrect, and they don't post all the information. You go to a store, they don't tell you what time they're open, they don't tell you what time they're closed. You go to a hotel, they have like 10 different prices. Yeah, even if you speak Japanese, it's still pretty confusing. ルールが多いんですね。ルール多いね。Of course, but it's worth learning. It's fun. I like it. I love it. I love this country, man. I have so little few Suzumi no nami no kujo ga aru. Very tiny little microscopic complaints. Honestly, this country is just amazing. I love Japan. My biggest issue is I can't live here, bro. I want to so freaking bad. But my job in America and the difficulties of making income to support myself out here and finding work here is just so freaking hard. Oh my god. But I really can't think that there's a better country than this, man. If only I could find a girlfriend, bro. But nah, it's not gonna happen. Not in Japan. I tried. I don't know what's wrong with me, bro. I don't know. In Japan, I don't think the girls want me. It's very weird. Like, it makes sense. They have a marriage problem for a reason, because nobody wants to get married here. I want to get married, but of course nobody wants to get married here. It's really weird. Maybe they become too saturated with foreigners and stuff. Really, I don't know. If I could live here, like I said, I would get a marriage visa, boom, live here. Like, as soon as possible. This country's amazing. Like I said, go and find a complaint about them. Only complaint that I ever hear about Japan is, they did World War II crime. They did World War II crimes. And? So? They got nuked. They got taken over by America, and now look where they are. What's a real complaint about Japan, bro? I can't think of one. It's just the perfect country. What time is, like 8:30? I think I should just stop the video and get on a bus to Oita. I mean, to the Hell's Gate or whatever. This one goes to Oita Station. Yeah, so I think I'll just stop it here. And maybe upload this video later. I don't really know what else to talk about. Oh, I'm probably gonna make that video later. I'll talk about that video later. But yeah, I think that's about everything I wanted to say. Okay, bye bye, motherfucker.